Not every new car is a smart buy, and in 2026, the gap between hype and reality is wider and more expensive than ever. Today, we're calling out 10 vehicles that raise serious red flags once you look past the marketing and factor in reliability, ownership headaches, and resale value. If you're shopping new and want fewer regrets after the honeymoon ends, you'll want to hear this and stick around, because the final vehicle might be the most shocking letdown of the year. First up on our list, the Kia EV9 sets the tone for why ambition doesn't always equal a smart buy. On paper, it's a bold, tech-loaded 3-row electric SUV meant to do everything at once: family hauler, luxury statement, and rolling technology demo. In reality, scaling early-generation EV tech into something this big adds more weight, more systems, and more opportunities for things to go wrong. Owners have already reported battery management warnings, driver assist faults, and software hiccups that feel especially painful at this price point. And let's be honest, Kia's 10-year warranty didn't come out of nowhere. It exists largely to calm buyers who remember the brand's occasional quality issues and need some extra reassurance before signing. Depreciation is another concern, because large EVs tend to shed value quickly as battery tech improves and newer versions arrive. When you're asking around $70,000 for a family vehicle, that's a lot of trust to place very early. This next one proves that a luxury badge doesn't automatically guarantee luxury ownership. The Genesis GV80 is clearly Korea's attempt to build a German luxury SUV rival, and visually, it gets very close. It looks stunning, the interior feels upscale, and absolutely crushes the first impression. Unfortunately, that's where much of the magic stops. Owners have reported in-car electric glitches, infotainment freezes, and random warning lights that feel out of place in a vehicle aiming to take on BMW and Mercedes. Dig deeper and the list grows, with complaints about transmission behavior, rough or hesitant shifting, and ongoing fuel systems issues that affect drivability. The driving experience doesn't escape criticism either. Reports of steering inconsistencies, vague on-center feel, and suspension problems, including clunks and premature wear, undercut the promise of effortless refinement. Add interior rattles, trim issues, and occasional leaks, and the GV80 starts to feel less like a true luxury benchmark and more like a very attractive work in progress still chasing its European inspiration. Shifting from luxury experiments to the pickup world, this next one shows how innovation can clash hard with old-school expectations. The Rivian R1T is undeniably innovative, and there's no question it pushes the electric truck segment forward. The problem is that innovation doesn't always translate into ownership confidence, especially at this stage. Rivian is still actively refining build quality, expanding its service infrastructure, and figuring out what long-term durability looks like in the real world. That uncertainty shows up in recall activity, software bugs, and suspension-related concerns owners continue to report. And this is where truck buyers start to get nervous. When you're spending over $80,000, you expect something built to survive job sites, trailers, and years of abuse, not a vehicle that feels like it's learning on the job. Repairs can be slow or expensive depending on location, and depreciation is becoming more noticeable as competition grows. For early adopters, that gamble might be fun. For everyone else, it's just a gamble. By the way, if you're into this kind of honest breakdown, stick around as we got plenty more coming. Another example of why impressions matter, especially in the EV world, is the Chevrolet Blazer EV, which stumbled out of the gate in a big way. Early software problems were serious enough to pause sales entirely and trigger recalls, immediately shaking buyer confidence. Even after multiple updates, owners continue to report issues spanning EV battery warnings, inconsistent climate system performance, malfunctioning electrical accessories, and glitchy in-car electronics that randomly reset or lag. Add reports of unexplained noises and even water leaks, and the Blazer EV starts to feel unfinished rather than refined. Charging frustrations only add to the annoyance at this price point. From a value perspective, the outlook isn't great either. GM EVs outside of Tesla tend to depreciate quickly once incentives ramp up and revised trims arrive, and the Blazer EV is already following that pattern. Buying one new in 2026 risks watching both confidence and resale value slide faster than expected. This next one proves that changing the badge doesn't magically change the experience. The Honda Prologue lands on this list largely because of expectations, and in some ways that makes it more disappointing than outright bad. Honda buyers are conditioned to expect bulletproof reliability and long-term peace of mind, and then discover that the Prologue is riding on GM's Ultium platform, the same foundation behind vehicles that have already struggled with software and charging issues. So yes, it looks like a Honda, but under the skin, it's very much GM tech wearing a different outfit. Early ownership feedback points to infotainment bugs, inconsistent charging behavior, and software quirks that feel wildly out of character for the brand. For an EV marketed as a safe, mainstream choice, that's a problem. Add the reality that first-generation EVs tend to depreciate quickly as better versions arrive, and the Prologue starts to feel less like a smart Honda purchase and more like a polite way of beta testing someone else's platform. Before we move on, this next one is a reminder that not all problems announce themselves with dramatic recalls. Some just quietly drain your wallet over time. The GMC Acadia is marketed as a practical three-row SUV, but it consistently underperforms where long-term owners actually feel it. Reliability scores trail key rivals, and complaints often focus on glitchy in-car electronics and infotainment systems that feel outdated before the warranty even ends. More concerning are reports of transmission issues, including leaks, harsh shifting, hesitation, and in some cases, failure serious enough to require full replacement. Owners have also flagged premature brake wear that adds to ongoing maintenance costs. For a family-oriented three-row SUV, this is not the kind of excitement anyone is shopping for. Add faster-than-expected depreciation as incentives pile up, and the Acadia becomes a vehicle that slowly but reliably overcharges you, long after you've signed the paperwork. Moving on from the midsize crowd to one of America's best-selling compact SUVs, this next one shows how popularity doesn't always translate into peace of mind. The Chevrolet Equinox might look sensible on paper, but real-world ownership feedback tells a much rougher story. Owner reports and survey data consistently point to transmission control unit failures and fluid leaks, with some cases escalating into full transmission computer replacements or even complete transmission swaps. Exactly the kind of surprise that wipes out any value advantage. The issues don't stop there. Owners frequently report problems with electrical accessories and in-car electronics, including screens freezing, systems failing intermittently, and features that work one day and disappear the next. A common trouble spot is the body control module, which manages a wide range of functions. When it acts up, small glitches can quickly turn into multi-system headaches. Add unexplained noises, warning lights that come and go without clear fixes, and inconsistent daily behavior, and the Equinox starts to feel less like a dependable appliance and more like a rolling troubleshooting session. For compact SUV buyers prioritizing simplicity and reliability in 2026, that's a serious red flag. Next up is a case study in how to completely misread your core audience. The Dodge Charger EV may go down as one of the biggest misses by a major manufacturer in modern automotive history. American muscle car fans didn't ask for a $60,000 full EV with fake engine noises pumped through speakers. They wanted a loud, unapologetic real V8, preferably one that smells faintly of premium fuel and poor life decisions. Instead, Dodge delivered a heavy, complex EV wrapped in muscle car cosplay. Early quality complaints around fit and finish, software quirks, and overall build consistency haven't helped matters, and resale value remains a giant question mark for such a polarizing first-year specialty vehicle. The irony? Dodge clearly knows this didn't land. We're already seeing the brand pivot back towards the Hemi V8 across the car and truck lineup, likely helped by Trump-era fuel efficiency rollbacks in the US. And frankly, it looks like Dodge has finally wised up and started making decisions its buyers actually want. Moving from polarizing to downright surreal, the Tesla Cybertruck may be the most attention-grabbing vehicle of the decade, and also one of the most overhyped. At launch, hype reached Elon-level proportions, with buyers reportedly paying $100,000 over sticker just to be first in line for what looked like a rejected prop from a low-budget sci-fi movie. Fast forward past the initial frenzy, and reality has arrived hard. Prices have fallen sharply, demand has cooled, and Tesla now appears to be sitting on inventory it can't easily move. Used examples are already popping up around $50,000, which is a brutal swing in a very short time. To be fair, straight-line performance is genuinely impressive for something this heavy, with a tri-motor Cybertruck capable of 0 to 60 in roughly 2.6 seconds. But that massive weight still shows up in real-world driving, limiting agility, efficiency, and traditional truck usability. Add ongoing fit and finish complaints, inconsistent panel alignment, recalls, repair complexity, and questionable day-to-day practicality, and the Cybertruck starts to look less like the future of trucks and more like a rolling case study in hype economics. It's spectacle first, substance optional, and ownership reflects that. And finally, closing out our list, we have one of the most baffling product planning decisions of the entire decade. The 2026 Honda Prelude returns as a case study in how badly a brand can misunderstand its own legacy. The original Prelude was fun to drive and earned its reputation with lightweight construction, sharp handling, and an excellent manual transmission that rewarded drivers who actually cared about driving. So, what did Honda bring back? A roughly 200 horsepower hybrid coupe focused on fuel efficiency, paired with a CVT. Yes, a CVT in a Prelude. That alone tells you everything you need to know about who this car was not built for. The market response has been brutal. Honda reportedly sold just 174 units in December 25, which isn't a slow rollout, it's a collective shrug. And somehow, despite this obvious rejection, some dealers thought charging $60,000 over sticker made sense, betting a few unlucky souls would mistake nostalgia for demand. A hybrid-only setup, no manual option, muted performance, and zero emotional payoff turned this into one of the most disappointing revivals of a beloved 90s icon. It's not just a miss, it's a painful reminder that slapping a legendary name on the wrong car doesn't magically make it matter. At the end of the day, every vehicle on this list made it here for the same reason. They ask buyers to accept too much risk for too much money in 2026. Whether it's reliability, depreciation, or long-term usability, these are cars where waiting a few years or choosing a better sorted alternative is usually the smarter move. Now we want to hear from you. Which one surprised you the most? And did we miss any? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're shopping or just staying informed, we've got plenty more new car content on the way.